Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Craig, the Natural Medic. I'm out here today on a hike at Dangerfield State Park in Northeast Texas, and I thought I'd talk about hydration and filtration. I see a lot of people, even on day hikes, they may have a bottle of water, they may not. If they needed water, I'm thinking to myself, how would they get water? I want to show you 4 different filters that I've used and have experience with, and rate those and talk about the pros and cons of each one. The Lifestraw.
Cool straw.
I know what you're saying. It's a cheap, kind of survivalist style water filter. That is probably true. However, this particular water filter, as you can see on there, it shines in its simplicity, because all you have to do is pop the caps and stick your end where my hand is in the water and your mouth up here at the other end, just like a big straw. You drink out of it. It filters out, like most of the filters say, 99.9 of the baddies, some microplastics. It's very lightweight and it's very easy to use. So if nothing else, it's a good filter for day hikers and a backup for backpacking. What are the pros of the Lifestraw? The pros are it is very lightweight. It's very inexpensive. You usually can get one for under $20, sometimes as low as $14, $15. You can stuff it in the pocket of your pack as a backup. That will work very well for you. Now, it's very easy to use if you saw my demonstration. And for the cons are, you have to be at a body of water or have a container of water to filter from. You cannot use this to carry water and filter it at a later time. It's for immediate use only. Definitely a con. But definitely a good choice for day hikers if they have nothing else or want to get something inexpensive, because you can use this pretty much anywhere as long as you have access to the water.
Super straw.
How would I rate the Lifestraw? Well, instead of doing stars, we're going to do water bottles. It's lightweight, it's easy to use, but you cannot collect water with it. You have to be near a body of water or water that's already been collected to filter with it. I'll give it 3 out of 5 water bottles. For our next filter, we're going to talk about the Katadyn BeFree.
BeFree.
You can see here I've scrapped the bladder. It comes with a not quite a 2-liter bladder. That's one reason I scrapped it. The other reason is I've heard, I haven't experienced it myself, that it has durability issues. I replaced it with this Hydro Pack bladder, checked off of Amazon. It's a 2-liter bladder that folds up and a lot more durable. Let's look at the Katadyn BeFree a little more closely. All of the filaments that filter all the bad stuff out are right there on the bottom side of the filter. However, one thing that I have heard, I've not experienced this myself because I've only used this a couple of times, because of the exposed filaments, it's really easy to, if you have like silty water or muddy water that you're having to drink from, it can be an issue that causes clogging. The nice thing about it, you put it right in here, just screw it in, you can pop the cap off, you can drink it like that, or you can turn it over and use it as a gravity filter to fill other bottles or cooking pots. Pretty cool. Hey, do me a favor, if you're getting value from this video, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. The Katadyn BeFree, as you can see, it has a narrow top. Makes it a little bit more difficult to collect water using it, no matter whether you have the stock bladder or this Hydro Pack bladder. Because of its potential to clog a little bit, I think I would give it 4 out of 5 water bottles. You can drink right from it, use it as a gravity filter, so that lets it have adaptability. You can collect water with it to filter at a later time. It's definitely a plus for this one. To continue, I'm going to go and spoil it for you. This one is going to be my favorite one that I'm going to talk about on today's episode. This is the Sawyer Mini.
Sawyer.
And you've probably seen this in other videos that I've talked about. The Sawyer Mini, the nice thing about it is it's compact, it's inexpensive, and it's easy to maintain. all those adding up to be equal, that makes it a good filter. Now some people like the slightly bigger Sawyer Squeeze, which basically is the same design, it just has a larger bore, for lack of a better term, higher flow rate, and it doesn't clog as much. All of these Sawyer filters, they work just like the Katadyn BeFree or the Lifestraw. There's microtubules in here. One thing you do have to be concerned about with all three I've talked about so far is they will have the potential to freeze anytime the temperature is below freezing. Keep these in your sleeping bag or someplace close to your body. That way they will remain usable, because they could freeze inside and burst. Now the screening amount, it's probably pretty similar to other ones. It's 0.1 microns, which is very small. Absolute hollow fiber water filter. I do have some other footage I'll show you that shows me actually filtering water with this. It has a pretty fast flow rate. I can filter a liter of water in about 2 minutes or so. With the squeeze, I have tested it against a friend's squeeze, and the squeeze itself is a little bit faster. It's probably about 30 to 45 seconds faster, just because it's larger. But to me, it's not that big of a deal. These are running right as of filming, about $20. They do come with a bag to allow you to fill it, but the narrow opening, just about as big as this to screw on, really kind of flimsy plastic bag. I opt for this Thenaturalmedic bag. You can get these on Amazon and other places. The nice thing about it, it's got a big wide mouth for scooping, as you'll see in this clip. The nice thing about that is you can scoop that, you seal the top up, and you attach your filter on the bottom. Pretty cool. Then all you got to do, once you've attached it to the bottom like this, is you drain it into the bottle of your choice, cooking pot, or you can actually just drink right out of the filter. Depends on what you want to do. The Sawyer Mini and the Sawyer Squeeze both come with a straw attachment. You can do it like a Lifestraw and just drink directly out of the water source. I usually don't do that. I bring it with me just in case. I did find out when I was at Lake Texoma back in April of this year, in silty water, it will slow down. Keep on top of the maintenance on that, and make sure you have a syringe with you to back flush it. And I'm not going to cover back flushing in this video. I did cover it briefly in my maintaining your equipment, cleaning your equipment video a few months ago that I did. I might revisit that another time. But anyway, that's my fave, and that's the one I usually take on most trips when I'm just doing it for myself. For individual use, I use this on my entire Eagle Rock Loop trip, and had 2 Smart Water type bottles, 1 liter bottles with me, and that worked to filter that. The water up there in the Ouachita Mountains in Arkansas is very clear, not a whole lot of sediment in the water. It worked great. I would rate this just because I've used it the most, and I feel for my needs it's affordable, it's easy to maintain, and it's adaptable. I would say this one is a 5 water bottles out of 5 water bottles. Moving on to our final contestant in our water filters for today, and that's going to be the Katadyn Hiker Pro.
Hey, here comes a hiker.
It really is designed for a group setting. You see here, this tube that's attached to it is the intake tube. You can see on the end of it, it has a kind of a larger debris filter and then a smaller filter. Inside of this, different from the other 3 we looked at today, it has a charcoal based filter. As far as I know, is not in danger from any kind of freezing conditions. You can put a lot of volume out. You do have to pump it. This handle here is your pump, and you just pump it right here, and that will fill up your bottle. Now, how do you do that? You have an output tube right here, and there are several attachments you can do with this. I don't use a lot of the attachments. Like for example, this one fits on the top of a Nalgene bottle. I just rather keep the plain tube here. This attaches right here on the top. There's just an output right there that you pop your hose on. I've got some footage that I'll show you from when I was up in Arkansas this on my solo trip back at Caney Creek last year. Worked great for me. It filters through the cartridge in here. All the bad stuff, it goes into this clean output into your water bottle or your pot or whatever you want to do. However, it is a larger, bulkier, and heavier than any of the other ones that we've talked about today. It really is suited better for group trips, in my opinion, because it produces a large volume of water very easily, very quickly. It's good for about 300 to 400 gallons. When that happens, you have to replace the cartridge. Probably has the best, is bestest a word? The best tasting water that I have had about any of these filters that I've seen. It does have instructions in here about how to field clean it and instructions for use, if the handle is hard to push and things like that. It produces a large volume of water, which is great, but the cons of it, it's more bulky, it's more heavy, takes up more room in your pack, and it's more expensive. As of filming today, runs around $80.
That's pricey. Hard to find.
I think that's right. I would say 4 out of 5 water bottles on this because of the cost of this and the fact that it takes a little bit more to maintain. It's a little bulkier and a little heavier. However, for a group setting, this would definitely be the choice. It's pretty much bomb-proof as far as utilizing for your go-to filter, if you want something that's a little more robust. Anyway, hopefully, with all the filters I've discussed today, you can find one of those 4 that works for you. If that's the case, and you got value out of this video, give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below, what filter do you like? What filter do you use? Do you have any questions about the filters that we discussed today? Please leave those in the comment below. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell so you see videos coming out from me in the future. Thanks so much for watching. Y'all be safe out there, and I'll see you on the trail. Bye-bye.